me, Clarke Reynolds and Steve Baker, and we're with the Blind Braille artist. We've created this wonderful work, and Clarke's going to tell us a little bit more about it.
Well, first of all, thanks for having me on this project, and Westbury Village have been so welcoming. It's not felt like a job, it's just felt like a short holiday, and that's been the beautiful part of this project. It's about engaging with people and breaking down the misconceptions of what blindness is. You know, even yesterday we were talking and people were saying to me, how can you do what you do? And, you know, because they think blindness is that complete darkness that we live in the cupboard. But, you know, every blind person sees something. You know, for me it's like looking underwater. And even though I work with colour, I have a memory of colour. So this piece is about breaking down the barriers of what Braille is as well. Because everyone thinks that Braille is that small, insignificant dot. But you make it bigger, give it colour, and it becomes universal. And we had so much fun this day. The last it was brilliant. And the idea is just to describe the Blue Ribbon event at the 2012 London Olympics, the Blade Run 100 metres. And I wanted them to do it with a bit of fun and think outside the box. That's why, when each person had the plaque, it started with the letter of the alphabet, and they had to think of the letter it began with for the start of the words. So obviously if you got Z or X, you really had to think outside the box, and all the words were amazing.
So we've got the letter, and then we've got the dots that allow us to
know so that's the actual decode. So G is grey, which is the 4 dot square. So this one reads go, 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 gold. Genius. Yeah. Yeah, so it can be read through a key. But like I said, the idea is you learn the pattern and then you feel it because it's Braille, it still reads as Braille, and that's the beauty of it. And the key is embedded in the artwork. So, you know, each of the plaques is A to Z, as you've got the colour of it. So you can come here, have a coffee, notice what D is, and then find out what all the Ds are, and then work out from there.
Super. And what was your input in this work?
Clarke likes to call me his talking guide dog. So as the workshop goes on and as the art gets produced, I help Clarke and help people to understand the colours, understand the Braille, but there's also the underlying philosophy of why it's important to do workshops like this. The Braille, connecting with the community, understanding invisible disabilities, depth of knowledge of what vision impairment is really like. You know, how does Clarke really see the world? And enabling people in smaller communities, or any communities, everybody really, just to appreciate what it's like to live that way. And the Braille really shows that, I think.
Excellent. And do you think it's really important that we have an understanding of like descriptive words when we're trying to describe things so that everybody can be involved?
Yeah, I mean, we do a podcast called Art and Sight, just because the way I find audio description hasn't moved along in the past 50 years. We're very stagnant. You know, as you lose your sight, as a creative you lose your sight, words are my imagery. So, you know, I haven't gone to Oxford and so I've got the best vocabulary, but if you create it a way that creates a picture, I mean, the first one on this one is X, xylophone of colours. So for me, I pictured that. And I know because she saw all the people lining up with all the different jerseys on, and xylophone of colours, and it made perfect sense. And I have a memory of being in school playing the xylophone when you had all the multicolours as it goes down as a child. You had the red down to purple, and that was a beautiful mark, and that evokes a picture. So descriptive powers of words, brings that imagery. As a creative, it's beautiful.
I think it's really important in visually impaired people as well. I think that really helps that connection of understanding and growing and being creative with whatever vocab you've got. I think can be really helpful in that space, but also just day to day bringing more colour to your language by doing exercises like this with a letter. How could it be described? How could somebody understand something? And if you can be very specific with your words, then that can make clarity in communication, which obviously leads to less misunderstandings, more understanding of how people act and behave. And I think our relationship really reflects that, doesn't it? We try quite hard to describe our worlds to each other.
And you do it without realising it. And that's the beauty of it. barely known each other for less than a year, but we have that connection where, you know, I want to know what's going on in the world. So without realising, he'll start to explain what the clouds are doing, or, you know, without me asking, he does it automatically. And that's why I love being in this company, because he's, even though my world is getting darker, Steve has become my eyes, but he does it in a way that's not patronising.
I think I just say what's on my mind and Clarke accepts it, which is lovely to find. So it's like a mutual experience. I get to say the things that I wouldn't get to say to anybody else, and to Clarke has value.
And some of those words you're using are about emotion and how you feel about it. So it's not just describing.
No, it's more than describing.
More than getting a little bit more, and you're getting more feeling when you use it. And that's what we tried to create here. Was to find words which actually described how it felt to be part of that visual experience.
Yeah, and so that's why, you know, I didn't want that kind of, he's wearing red shorts, or, you know, they're waiting for the start. And I wanted that kind of expressive, emotional response to words. So, you know, D, for instance, says dash, bish, bosh. I mean, come on, what is that? When you think of that dash, bish, bosh, you think, energy, boom, I mean, God, they're on 100 metres. I know what 100 metres feels like, I remember seeing it, you know. So that is perfect, I mean, that's a great word.
And the feedback from the workshop has been wonderful. We've been putting the piece together today as a little team, and some of the participants have come back and said how much they've enjoyed it, and really engaged again, kind of felt that, you know, they've engaged with Clarke very much, understood Braille, but actually had a really descriptive experience. Hopefully they'll take into the rest of their life. And, whether they're meeting with people with disability or not, hopefully it's that deep. I mean, I think at this time of the world, I can't believe I'm saying this sort of thing, but isn't that what we really need? A deeper understanding of how we each feel.
Because we're all different, and everybody has different ways of doing things, and we should be celebrating difference, not ostracising it.
And that's what we did yesterday. That's what we did last night. We had 3 hours of celebration, and everyone was chilled and relaxed and good banter and good fun.
And the food, just rather than mention.
Food, I know.
Delicious.
Oh my God, I've never been so well fed in the last 48 hours. You know, from the meal we had last night, the meatballs, and that honey cake, £9. I think honey cake kept me through the night because it was so sugary, right? It kept me going. And then the amazing hospitality this morning on the farm. Steve actually got some eggs from some chickens, and we actually had some literally fresh eggs from a chicken, which I've never had before. Never.
Those are the freshest eggs I've ever eaten.
Yeah.
Literally.
And so this lovely piece is now going to be exhibited in the Westbury Community Centre, and for everyone to come and see and engage with, and reflect on and learn from. So it's a really lovely. It's going to have a legacy. We'll have an information board to explain a little bit more about it as well. So thank you so much. It's been really fun. And a really interesting learning curve as well for us, and also for the people that came last night. So thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.